Hey, Kari, you want to play some Truth or Dare?
Yeah.
All right, ladies first, then go ahead.
Okay. Truth or dare?
Dare.
All right. I dare you to not mess up and tell us what's going on today in horror movie news.
Oh, okay. Well, today, so pretty much you do the dare or you die. You tell the truth or you die. That's right. We're talking Truth or Dare today with our very special guest, Hayden Szeto. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
But you didn't mess up. You're not dead.
That's
no.
right. I'm alive, guys.
Yay.
I'm alive. That's Josh in you. I nailed that dare.
Whee!
That's right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome.
It's a party up in here.
Wow.
Strobing.
He wasn't expecting that.
I was
Back
not
in
expecting
Mexico.
that. That's very impressive.
Yes. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Horror Movie News. We are on episode 26.
Woo!
4 more to 30. Right on. So, I am your host, Anthony Becerra. And as always, I have Kari Lane here.
Hey, how's it going?
Oliver Drennan out there in the
Hey.
And to his right is our very special guest, Hayden Szeto.
What's up?
Yo.
Thank you for having me.
Oh,
Yeah, happy to have you
thank-
here.
Yeah, exactly. Took the words right out of my mouth. Real quick, let's do some crypt keeping where we gotta clean this up a bit, and also let you know where you can find us. So real quick, you can find us on the youtube.com/Popcorn Talk Network page on YouTube, as well as our Twitter page at HorrorMovieNewsPTN, and lastly but not least, the Popcorn Talk Network website. Oh wait, no, that wasn't last. Sorry, I lied. Last thing is on Apple Podcasts, Horror Movie News. Type that in and look for our little insignia right there, our little thumbnail. Leave 5-star rating and any feedback you would love to give us. That'd be perfect. I love to read it. And also leave any comments here on the video after the fact that we have taped and all that good stuff. Whew. All right.
Woo!
Crypt keeping aside, let's get
Yay.
into our first segment, The Abyss. Pretty much, it's what films we've been watching this past week. So yeah, I saw this little indie horror film recently
Yeah.
released called Truth or Dare. I believe we
Yeah.
all saw
Me
this little
too.
film.
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you?
Okay.
But were you dared to go see it?
I was dared.
Okay.
Yeah. there's a person that in there that looks like me, so I had to check it out.
Yeah.
Right on. So yeah, I did see that, but on top of that, I did see, although it's not horror, it's a very, very relevant, very relevant, Edge of 17. Fantastic film, co-starring our very own Hayden Szeto, along with
Haley Steinfeld.
Boom, not Seinfeld.
Look at that, harmonize.
Nailed it. Look at that. Yeah. Oh my God. I enjoyed this film. Even though I started watching it at like 2 a.m., I could not put. I was like, I'm just gonna watch an hour, then go to sleep, wake up, watch the next hour, I'll be done. No, I stayed up till like 5 in the morning watching this movie, and it was fantastic. I gotta say, really
What's it
great
about?
film. Huh?
I feel I know that title, but remind me which one's that? What
I
is
can
it?
actually read you the
Oh, yeah.
synopsis right
Give me
now.
a quick synopsis.
Elithia. So high school's life gets even more unbearable for Nadine when her best friend Krista starts dating her older brother. And Krista is like her only friend.
Okay.
Like they're like
Yeah.
inseparable. So she sees it as a betrayal, and this also sets off like a cacophony of other events and how she like tries to deal with certain things in her life. It's definitely a coming of age story. I can't say enough how much I enjoyed this. Your performance in particular is so awesome. It made me laugh every time because I've been that guy. Like I've been that like neurotic. Like how's your weekend? Like
Exactly. I think every guy has been that guy. Yeah. I mean, even not just in high school, just like forever in life. I think it was a good time that film. Filming that, yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I'm still that guy. But that's
There are
okay.
days, yeah.
Part
We
of
just
my
have
charm.
Irwin days, yeah.
Oh my God, Irwin days, yes, that's awesome. But yeah, so I saw that. So what have you guys been up to?
I was at the Indian Film Festival of Los Angeles covering
that's
that,
right.
so that was fun. And there was a lot of thrillers this year. So I was pleasantly surprised, but I'm like, oh, there are some kind of horror movies. So one that wasn't exactly horror, but I liked was called The Hungry, and it's a adaptation of Shakespeare's Titus Andronicus, but set in contemporary New Delhi. And it's also, there's a wedding, Indian wedding going on, and it also explores the role of patriarchy and corruption in Indian politics and big business. Female director, Bornila Chatterjee. It's really good. It's super gruesome, and it's just very much a Shakespeare tragedy that, like, good luck trying to survive, you know? It's one of those.
Cool.
And also it was fun to see Arjun Gupta, who's on The Magicians, was in that, and he was tweeting about it, and that's how I kind of knew about
My
that one ahead
girlfriend
of
loves
time.
that show.
Oh, nice.
Obsessed with The Magicians.
So she should look out for this
she
one.
would.
It's
I'll tell her
Penny.
to check it out.
Yeah, so it's called The Hungry.
The Hungry.
It's
All
really
right.
good.
So, and when you say that it was very, you didn't say gory, but was it? Do you mean
It's gory, yeah.
it's,
Like there's a
okay.
part where, so I'm not familiar with the Shakespeare play, which they did kind of say that's like one of Shakespeare's worst, but it was like his first tragedy, so it's kind of like rough and raw. But they were like, yeah, that's why it really fit with what kind of story they told. There's a part where a character, in trying to talk about a betrayal, the girl he likes isn't going with him on his train of thought, and he like mutilates her face, shoves like like their long scarves, called dupatta, all the way like shoved in her mouth. I'm like, dude, did he cut her tongue out? Because it's like spilling out. It's all blood, and her face is all messed up. And like later, she's like crawling. It's just like gruesome.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
I laughed because it's just so like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
over the top. Don't do drugs. That's another part of the movie. Someone does drugs and doesn't end well. Yeah, just brutal. Also, double check your food because it might be eating someone you know.
Oh,
That
wow.
comes up too, and it's
What?
so
So
fun.
it's a comedy.
You know?
That's
Yeah.
exciting. Wow.
So-
I always need a good laugh, so I'm gonna go
Right?
check it
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
The audience did laugh at some of the like, because it's just so over the top. that
Yeah.
you kinda-
That's a defense
Like,
mechanism.
Did you see that? Like,
Oh, man.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like that one. That was
All
really
right.
That sounds interesting. All right.
good. Yeah. I'll talk about my other one as my
Okay.
other one.
Right on.
when we
Sounds
get
good.
to it. Yeah.
Ollie.
Well, you
what's good?
mentioned someone's tongue getting cut out. Ryan, do you have a film I watched recently? I don't know if you Truth or Dare, but I saw Truth or Dare.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Pretty cool. I saw it by myself. I know we were talking before the show about how like you would never like see horror movies by yourself. I love seeing horror movies by myself. It's so funny. It just I don't know. I take horror very seriously, even if it's like a dark or
Yeah.
if it's like a dark comedy horror. Like
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want my friends or any like date to just like ruin my attention. Like I want to give the horror film like my full attention, and I don't know. Maybe I'm.
I
weird.
respect that.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'm a weirdo.
Yeah.
I finished Full Metal Alchemist
Yay.
Brotherhood Part 1 finally.
Is that the live action?
No,
No.
just
The
the
anime.
Oh, the anime.
So I'm excited.
Netflix breaks it down by part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, I haven't seen any of that. I'm a Naruto, Bleach, and Attack on Titan.
Good
Ooh,
stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
I still need to watch season 2
I
of
feel like
Attack
you'd
on
like,
Titan.
yeah, Brotherhood would be
So good. It's
Yeah?
so good. Shorter, but very good. It's only 12 episodes, I think.
Oh, okay.
The first season was 25, so
Yeah.
things ramp up way quicker, obviously.
So
in
there's like
10
no
episodes.
filler. It's just
No, it's just
Yeah.
it's straight to the point.
Nice.
Yeah.
I need to get on that.
So
yeah,
good.
same.
And then I saw Jumanji, and
Hey!
finally, it was a lot of fun.
That was a good movie.
I
Yeah.
love the original Robin Williams, like R.I.P. Like
Mm-hmm.
nothing compares to the original,
Yeah.
but it was nice. Like if you're a video game fan,
Yeah.
like you totally have fun with like little things about like, he's an NPC. Like it just
Yeah,
it's cute.
yeah, yeah.
And I love Karen Gillian,
Yes.
The Rock, Jack
Great.
Black.
Jack
like,
Black was
Jack
fantastic.
Black was my favorite.
He,
in that.
I think he stole that.
Yes.
I think it's safe to say that he stole that.
And the Jonas Brother.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Is that Nick?
Yeah.
Nick
Nick.
Jonas.
Yeah.
I'm all one of the
And Kevin
Jonases.
Hart. Like it was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
it
really
was
fun.
great cast.
Good. It was a good take on that. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it too, and I made tons of money. So. All right. So we have a question for you, Hayden.
Yes.
So what have you been watching lately?
What have I been watching? I've been rewatching a lot of old movies.
nice.
I mean, not super old, but I've been watching. I rewatched 300 and
Nice.
Troy, and I just got down this
Okay.
watching these very macho, masculine movies that make me want to go to the gym. Yeah. Because with the premiere and everything ramping up to the release of Truth or Dare, I've just been so like stressed out, like in a good way. But I haven't been very active, so I've just been like sitting at home and everything. So I've been watching these movies that want to get me back in the gym, and 300 and Troy are the way to go. 300 torsos to remind you how insignificant you are.
As far as the eye can see.
I'm like, all right, okay, I guess I should do some squats. Exactly. There's spray tan and everything. So yeah, I've been watching a lot of that. Just a lot of like action reruns. I'm in the middle of watching. Have you guys seen The Raid?
I was about to say,
Yeah.
have you seen The Raid?
I've seen The Raid.
The second one?
But this one's called Headshot.
Oh,
Have you seen Headshot?
Is that the same director?
No, but it's the same the lead actress.
Okay.
Lead actor.
Yeah.
Who's leading the movie, same as the first two Raids. So I'm in the middle of watching that. It's pretty intense.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I think he's what's his name? I don't know his name, but I respect him a lot because usually you can't teach a martial artist how to act, but you can teach an actor how to do the moves.
Right.
Most of the time, but this guy he can do both, and it's so unfair.
The one who plays Rama, right?
Yeah, Rama.
Iko Uwais?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic.
He's great.
Yeah.
I wish I saw him more in the Star Wars movie. He was in there for a split second. I'm like, you just wasted the whole cast of The Raid.
Along with the Mad
Dog.
Yeah.
Mad Dog. I'm like, you're not gonna make these guys fight? Are you serious?
No. Oh,
They're just gonna stand there?
I want a solo movie with him, like with them, and like what adventures they go on.
Exactly. My gosh, that'd be great.
A Star Wars kung fu movie.
Yeah.
Please.
With
like,
Donnie Yen.
Oh yeah, exactly.
My
If he
gosh.
was still alive and they both met in like the past.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Okay, let's write
All
that.
right.
Let's write that.
That's right. Yeah. Get some backers.
Yes.
No, but yeah, geez, I love The Raid and The Raid 2 are like my favorite.
So good.
Yeah. But yeah, so let's move on to the Crypt now. So pretty much films that we'd like to share and recommend to everyone. I'll start it off. So Super Troopers is coming out this Friday. And so as a little homage, Super Troopers 2, as a little homage to them and Broken Lizard, I would like to recommend Broken Lizard's Club Dread. It was released back in 2004. It's with the same actors from Super Troopers, director and writer Jay Chandrasekhar. I had to spell that phonetically because it's very hard to say. But yeah, the synopsis is when a serial killer interrupts the fun at the swanky Coconut Beach Resort, a hedonistic island paradise for swingers, it's up to the club staff to stop the violence or at least hide it. So super quick thoughts. It's super rated R, raunchy horror comedy film. I kind of chalk it up to the likes of National Lampoon meets Scream. Cause it's really gory when it gets gory, but it's also really funny and raunchy. It's like when they,
Nice.
like there's like a little sex scenes and stuff, but it's really funny. Hilarious antics, and if you haven't checked this out, check this movie out. It's very definitely worth a watch for more like lighthearted horror fans out there who nice little nice little chuckle with their gruesome deaths. But yeah, definitely check out Broken Lizard's Club Dread.
Okay.
Sweet.
All right, what's next? Who's next? Who's got?
I guess we'll go down the line.
Yeah.
So yeah, another one I saw at the film festival, and I pseudo have to spoil some of it because otherwise I can't explain it. So this film, and I'll get into it why I would spoil it. So it's called Mercury, and it's like this is the synopsis they put that I'm like, yeah. A group of youngsters try to escape from a man who has fallen prey to mercury poisoning in this silent thriller. All right, well, let me break down part of that of why that's like not quite right. So this is a movie that's completely silent in terms of nobody speaks.
Okay.
Everybody in this area has gotten mercury poisoning from like a local factory. So everybody's deaf. So they can sign, and there is a character who he can hear, but like when he talks to somebody, they're like way off, and the deaf like youngsters, like college age people are watching. So you don't hear it. So I'm like, I don't know if I'd call that a silent film. There are no subtitles for their sign language, so you just get to watch it. It's kind of I Know What You Did Last Summer meets A Quiet Place because, it's one of those like,
it's reminding me. I'm like, okay.
Well, because then they kill somebody by accident, and then they try to hide the body, and then the body's not there because they have to go back and like they left something, and then there's this like factory that they all go in because then one of them is missing, and they're like, oh, they went inside. So, I mean, this spoils some of it, but I really hope you watch it anyways, because that's why it was so cool for me to watch it, because I'm like, oh, it turned into a horror movie, because at first you're like, oh, thriller, cool. Well, they find the body, and the guy's like, oh my gosh, and then lo and behold, it's a ghost as well, and I'm like, yes, I was like, oh, it's a horror movie, sweet, because I didn't know that going in. And it's not like our kind of ghost because it can touch you, it can move you, it can do all this other stuff.
So it's like a physical menace.
Yeah, but he's
Wow.
like in two places because they're looking at the body and then they like turn around and it's right there. But here's the kicker of why it's a quiet place. He's blind. So it's
ghost
a
is
blind ghost, which I'm like, that's awesome.
It's kind of like Don't Breathe as well, a little bit.
Yeah.
So good.
Because they're just trying to like move around. So you
Yeah.
have these deaf people, so they can't talk anyways, but they can't hear it sneaking up on them. But then they can see that it can't see them. Oh, it's so like,
now I wanna
these
see-
are
now I
so
really wanna
many
see it.
cool pieces of a horror movie.
I feel like I just heard the whole movie, but I still want to see it.
Yeah.
Right, that's why I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
the
this
things
goes
about it
down.
are so amazing. And then something else that's like, semi-spoiler, but like it makes it so much better. They get to have a discussion with the monster ghost thing. How many horror movies would you have loved to
Monster
have the
ghost
main
thing.
character be like, okay, so dude, this is
So
what
why
happened.
is this happening?
Why is this happening? Da, da, da. Like conversation. I was like, this is amazing. So as a horror fan, I love that it did so many different things or things I would have wanted in a horror movie. Because how many times like I'm like, can we talk to the thing and be like, yo,
Yeah.
this is what's going down. We just had a clear misunderstanding.
Yeah,
Can we
yeah.
work this out? I'm not going to tell you how it happens. But it's also super tense. Like, the chase scene maybe goes on a little long in the factory, but it's really good. So I highly recommend Mercury. The guy who plays the monster ghost, he's actually an amazing dancer. So I think they did a really good job with, like, his physicality. Like,
Ooh, okay.
he's so good with how he moves his body.
A blind dancing
And-
ghost. I'm in.
Right?
Wow.
And all the people who act, like, I don't know if they're actually deaf, but I really enjoyed watching that because then I kind of go like, is this what deaf people think when they watch like our movies or something with no subtitles? Because you get it, you get enough of what's going on. So
Right.
Anyway, highly
Interesting.
recommend Mercury.
Mercury.
All right.
Right on. And now let's toss it over to Oliver.
Real quick, I saw Gerald's Game finally on
Oh, yeah.
Netflix. I don't know if you guys.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
wanna
based
watch
on
that.
Stephen King's book, and I'm not really familiar, so I don't know if it was like stayed true to the book a whole lot. It stars Bruce Greenwood and Carla
Gugino?
Gugino.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a fan of her. I didn't know how to say her name, but she was in like 300. She was in not 300. She was in. Was she in 300?
No,
She was in
was
Watchmen.
not.
Watchmen.
There we go.
Oh,
She was in
yeah.
Watchmen.
And Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
too.
Oh, I love Sucker Punch. Anyway, I didn't even realize it was her like until I started like maybe like an hour into the film. I'm like, oh, it's Carla.
Is this
Yeah.
the one where she's tied to the bed?
Yes.
Yeah, oh.
She tries to get. They try to have like a freaky like kind of honeymoon weekend. Her and her husband. He ends up having a heart attack. He dies. She's stuck there in the middle of nowhere, and she starts hallucinating. She starts seeing herself talking to herself. She
Yeah.
sees her husband
Whoa.
come back alive, and he's just taunting her. And you're really rooting for her to get the hell out of there. And you kind
Yeah.
of like. It's kind of like, oh man, can't you just like kick the bed or break the bed or something?
It was bolted down, right? She couldn't.
It was
won't
like,
shove.
yeah, and
Yeah.
like it. This movie just screws with your mind. Like it really does. Have you seen it?
I couldn't sleep. I had to sleep with the lights on for 4 days after that. Which is because it haunts your bedroom.
Sure.
It like the whole point of view when it's like Carla's
God.
point of view is like as if your point of
Yeah.
view looking
Yeah.
at your own bed.
Yeah.
And they haunt the corners of your bed, under your bed, the entryway to your bedroom. So like a lot of the jump scares, the jump scares came from your own bedroom.
Sure.
You know, it looks like your own bedroom.
So is
Yeah.
it satisfying though?
Yeah.
Well, the ending, not to spoil it, just get to the ending.
Yeah,
The ending
you
is
don't talk about the ending.
Well, you
Yeah,
could
yeah.
say if it's satisfying or not.
some
Like you
berserk
left
shit.
going like, all right, that was awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
I would say so.
Because I
Yeah.
wouldn't have brought it up if I
Yeah.
if I didn't like it as overall. Did you like it?
Why have
I liked
been
it a lot.
sleeping on this film?
The ending though with
Well, 'cause the
there's a
basic
dog.
plot,
There's a
you're
dog
like,
that attacks her and tries to eat her. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
But there's some heavy. Also, real quick, there's some heavy themes about like her being molested as a child and just like incest and like it's deep. It's heavy. It's not for the faint of heart, but I definitely recommend it, and I'd love to hear what you guys think of it if you ever see it.
Yeah, that got me really hyped to go watch it. I don't know why I've been sleeping on that film. It's just one of those I'm just like, I'll get around to it
same. I was like,
eventually, you know? But dang, that sounds...
It's very dialogue heavy,
Oh.
so it's like
fine.
you really want to like focus on it, and it does a good job of really keeping your attention.
Right on. All right. And we got another question for Hayden here.
Yes.
So pretty much, is there any horror movies or a movie that you love in particular?
Oh, actually a lot.
Ooh, okay. up the list.
Exorcism of Emily Rose
Ooh,
was
nice.
one of my favorites. Just simply because, as an actor, just to see the performances in there. I've always applauded, people that act possessed. I'm like, Just how do you get there? You know, it's fascinating as an actor to see that kind of performance, and also at the same time, it was like a courtroom drama. At the same time, so it was like two birds with one stone, and it made it very, very entertaining. Jennifer Carpenter was her name, the main actress.
Yeah, I was gonna look her
she's
up.
great. She's amazing.
And she did all like the body. Like,
Yeah.
She's in Dexter.
Yeah, she's in Dexter. And I heard
sister.
about her audition tape. Her audition for Exorcism of Emily Rose. They said she was so creepy with her contortion abilities that the whole room was just quiet after she auditioned. They just had to book her off of that.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah,
memorable.
and the clicking she does with her, like I don't know how I can't even imitate her. Like her clicking laughter, like something like that. It was just
It's crazy.
it's just imitating it creeps me out. So Exorcism, Emily Rose, Stigmata was one of my favorites from back in the day.
wow.
I like the
Yeah.
soundtrack in Stigmata. I would never say, I never thought I would say I like the soundtrack from a scary movie, but Stigmata had a really good soundtrack, also really good acting, and I really like those kind of movies. I'm not really into the paranormal. I'm really into like I think I buy into it more when you're talking about good and evil.
Okay.
You know, like because that stuff I actually think is
More
real.
supernatural.
Yeah. That is more real to me than anything else. Yeah. Haunting of Connecticut,
Oh, okay.
which is paranormal.
Is
Is
that
it
the one with the?
the mouth with the stuff coming out?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
when they do
When
the
they do the
seance.
seance,
Right.
yeah.
And then the sun has like crosses like
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I think that movie was 90% awesome for me. It's just the last 10% of the movie. How they wrapped it up was very Hollywood, but everything else leading up to it was on point. Like it scared the shit out of me. What else? The Ring series, the Japanese The Ring, just to be specific.
Ringu,
But
I
the Ringu series traumatized me for life. Like with TVs, like no TVs go in my room since that movie. Like I have no screens in my room.
Dude, I got
Just
3.
because, I mean, the Japanese are very smart. They haunt your household appliances, your computers, your TVs, your blow dryers, your shower.
Yeah.
You know,
the
Grudge.
photography one
The
too.
oh,
my
that
God.
one.
That one was a good one too.
What was it called? Shutter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was about to say. Not
That's a
the
Thai,
eye.
the Thai movie. That was really scary. The American one, not so much. Dark Water, not so much.
Right.
They made
Both of them,
another
yeah.
camera one though too with a.
No, I think there was an American Shutter.
Shutter. There's an
Yeah.
American Shutter too. Not nearly as
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Not nearly as good. The Eye was also
I was
really
about to say
good.
the
Yeah,
eye was really.
The Eye was
supposed to be really
a
good.
Hong Kong movie. That was
Yeah.
probably the best one Hong Kong had to provide. I think the Japanese have always conquered the scary movie franchises in Asia, but I think Hong Kong did very good with The Eye,
Yeah.
especially that scene where she's painting and some guy's like, "You're in my seat," and she just had eye surgery, so she couldn't see. She looked up, she saw a silhouette of a person asking her, "Hey, you're in my seat. Please get out of my seat." And she's like looking around to her classmates, and none of her classmates are reacting to this person. And then she realizes that was not a real person.
That's
And
creepy.
the person, the ghost, flies towards her. Like it's your worst nightmare. You know, Raiden from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Right.
The ghost did that. What the? That's my worst nightmare. You know, like ghosts are scary enough standing still.
And just looking
And
at
when they
you.
dive at you, okay, I can't do that. And speaking of
So now
teleportation,
we've learned some specifics of your
Yeah,
horror fears.
exactly. And speaking of teleportation, one more is the American Ring, the first one.
Oh,
yeah, the first one.
Specifically
was
the
really
first
that
one.
was
I
great.
mean, when they discover that girl's body in the closet,
good. Oh, the closet
The
scene.
opening.
Ah, yeah, that
it's
visual.
the best horror makeup I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
It actually, thinking about it, haunts because she looks like she drowned or something, but
It's-
she's sitting in a
Everybody
closet.
remembers that image. Yeah.
And also, they upgraded Sadako, also, aka Samira, in the American one. She can teleport. I don't know if you remember. She crawls out of the TV in the first American Ring.
Right.
She stands up just like the Japanese one, and she stands still like the Japanese one. And all of a sudden, she blinks towards.
Oh, okay, like a quick.
Yeah, she like just teleports up to the guy's
Dang.
face, and I'm like, okay, you upgraded her. That's not. You shouldn't do that.
terrifying, yeah.
She's terrifying enough.
2.0, yeah.
Exactly. You just 2.0'd her, but yeah, those are my favorites. Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
If you, I don't know if you ever seen it. Tale of Two Sisters. I
No.
believe it was Korean. It's
Tale of Two Sisters.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm gonna jump in on the Stephen Booth here.
Yeah.
Watch that film.
Yeah.
Tale.
It's on
Yeah.
Netflix, yeah?
Oh,
I think it's on
sure.
Netflix.
I'll ask
or
you for it
has been.
after, before, in case I forget.
Yeah, it's actually they had an American remake of it. They called it The Uninvited, I believe. Yeah.
Yes, I saw that's on Netflix too.
I believe.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
yeah.
not sure if it is. I haven't seen it myself, but if it is, yeah.
Oh no!
So you should watch definitely the Korean version.
I almost watched Uninvited with my girlfriend last night, but we watched The Gift instead.
The Gift. Okay.
Do you know the STX movie
I
with
haven't
Joel
seen that yet.
Edgerton?
Yeah, I've been wanting to see that. I haven't seen that.
It's
I heard-
pretty good.
I believe Joel.
Oh, is that the one where they leave the
the
president?
Stalker movie?
Yes.
I
Yeah,
believe
What,
Joel-
and it was good?
with Jason Bateman.
Okay, yeah.
It's good? Okay, good.
It's very good.
That's
Joel
one that you
Edgerton-
could go,
yeah.
Joel Edgerton actually directed that film.
Yeah, and produced it.
Yeah, so I'm just like, oh, I can't wait to see that.
It was
Yeah.
STX's biggest success,
Oh,
actually.
nice.
That's the
yeah,
image
so that's
for the Tale of Two
Tale-
Yeah,
Sisters.
he's getting it up real quick.
It's them on the couch and they're
It's
all
definitely,
bloody.
yeah, it's very
Okay,
good.
I don't like that poster.
Really cool.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that.
It's really good.
There's
yeah.
something scary about just
That's like the Shining
young
style.
girls. Yeah, I just don't like that. I don't like that. And with matching dresses.
Yep.
Ugh.
And they're gonna be like, "Come play with us, Hayden."
That just reminded me. This just reminded me of Ready Player One that
Yeah.
I just watched recently.
Oh,
that,
yeah, that was
that
a
part
great scene.
Yeah, it's
scared me.
great.
That was. I'm like, oh, this wasn't in the book. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you read the book too?
I read most of it. Yeah, but I
Okay.
definitely don't remember that part.
No,
Oh,
yeah,
no, it's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
That was a good change, though.
Yeah,
they
for
go
sure.
into what was it? The last
It's War Games,
War Games. Yeah, that's right.
which I love that movie too, but it's not everybody's seen.
Still haven't seen it.
Ready Player One.
No, War Games.
Oh, War Games.
Yeah, I
Matt
saw Ready
Broderick,
Player One.
so good.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's very
Fun
dated,
film.
but
All right, so now let's get more focus on Hayden Szeto,
Yes.
person. So I got a real quick brief bio here. So you were born in like the Richmond area of
Vancouver. Yep.
Yeah, right on. And your parents are from Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't able to get your mother's name, but I believe your father Nigel.
Yes.
Right?
My mom's name's April.
April. Okay. And your father was a painter.
Yes, still is.
Still is, right? Sorry. And then your grandfather, Kay
Szeto.
Szeto,
Yeah.
was a sculptor.
He
Oh,
was
okay.
also a famous painter as well. But I do have famous poets and sculptors in my family, like great uncle, great grandpa, like there. But my grandpa, my dad's dad, was a very famous painter in China, like probably one of the best. Like if you study art history, I think even in the United States, and you study Asian art history, you'll study my grandfather.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Your
Yeah.
whole family was a bunch of artists.
Yeah,
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 that
yeah,
kind of-
yeah. It's I appreciate it, and I'm more in awe of it now when I'm older. Because when you grow up in it, it's like, oh, that's just dad, that's just grandpa,
Yeah.
you
Doing
know.
his
And then
thing.
you grow up, you're like, holy shit, my dad did that. You know, he made a painting as big as our house. Like it's insane. Like I still don't know how he does it. I'm like, how does your brain work? You know, and it's insane nowadays when I watch him paint. He actually needs those elevators. What are those called? With the four wheels, you actually drive it around and it
Oh.
escalates.
Yeah, that's-
Oh.
It's like the stuff,
Yeah.
the machinery you see
Yeah,
at
yeah.
Costco. Like that's what
Right.
he uses to
Get up.
to
Wait,
just get up and
yeah.
paint.
Kind
Like the
not a
elevation.
fork.
What's
Yeah,
it's
I
not you know
Not a
what I
fork.
mean. It's like
Yeah.
it's not a forklift. It's the guy beep beep beep.
It's like a portable elevator.
He's like, oh, you
sort
need
of,
something
yeah.
from shelf Z? I'll go get up and get it for you. You know that machine. My dad got one of those recently.
Dang.
To paint. It's pretty incredible to watch.
Right
So
on.
acting is
Yeah.
essentially an art form as well. Does your
Yeah.
family see that as you've continued on the art
Oh,
tradition?
well, I'm the first actor in the family. They've done
Oh.
everything else in the arts. I mean, we got dancers, we got everything but an actor, and so I'm like the first actor.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I feel pretty good about that because I have no competition, no shadow to live under. You know, I was
Paving the way.
yeah, I was very concerned before growing up. My dad really wanted me to be a painter, obviously, like everybody, all the other men in my family. And I remember my problem was I just had so much energy as a kid. You can't make me sit still at the desk and just hunch over and draw pictures. I just wasn't into it. I remember my first assignment for my dad was replicating a painting of Monet. And I was like, this can't be assignment 1. There must be draw a circle, draw a triangle, like trace this cup. It must be something like that. But my dad immediately wanted to throw me into the deep end. I would remember that I would frustrate my dad so much because I just wasn't into it. He'll find me playing with GI Joes instead, and watching TV. And so he'll watch TV with me. And I remember the first movie that we watched that I can remember was Tom Cruise in Top Gun. And that's when I was like, I want to do that job. I want that job. He has the Mustang. He's got the cool jet planes. He's got a cool jacket. He's got aviators. He gets the girl. I'm like, I want that job. What job is that? You know? And at that time, I really think that these were real people. I'm like, somebody's just filming Tom Cruise's life. This is how he lives. I'm like, and I realized that he pretends that he's these people. What a cool job. He gets to be everything essentially. He gets to, like, to be an actor, you can live out all your childhood dreams. You get to essentially live out all your childhood dreams because you can get to be in everybody's shoes and you get to understand them and what it's like. And I'm like, I want that job. And I think that's what happened. It was the byproduct of me being bored of what my dad wanted me to pursue.
Wow.
So what does the family think of it now?
At first, they were extremely supportive, but cautious. Back in the day, I remember when I told them, and before I moved from Canada to the United States, my mom. I remember packing my bag to my room, and my mom was like, "I'm worried about you." I'm like, "Why?" And she's like, "Well, there's just on American TV, there's not many people that look like us, and there's not many people that look like you." I'm like, how long do you want to try this for? And I remember it was such a heartbreaking conversation. I remember I got mad when I heard that. And then and I'm like, you know nothing. And then at the same time, I'm like, well, I know nothing either. I'm just diving in head first. Man. Yeah, and I moved to LA for film school, and I remember 2 years before I graduated, I think Steven Yeun booked Walking Dead, and that really that really inspired me. And the only movie I've seen before that had Asian Americans represented was Better Luck Tomorrow.
I was about to bring that up.
By Justin Lin.
Yeah.
And that's when I actually saw, Asian Americans. I've seen Chinese and Japanese being portrayed in American television as cliches and caricatures, but I grew up having two identities, like being Chinese and being Chinese Canadian, and now actually three, Chinese American now, that I've been here so long. So there's like these kind of stories. I felt like what I've lived and many Asian Americans, Asian Canadians have lived, never really get the screen time in American TV. I'm like, sure, you get people that look like us from the motherland, but it's not necessarily our stories. So that leads into Edge of 17 and leads into Truth or Dare, where an Asian American is represented, and I feel like that's a really this is a very special time for Asian Americans.
Definitely.
Yeah, especially with the Crazy Rich Asians coming out, every little thing helped. Like Fast and the Furious, when Sung Kang was in it, I'm like, he's cool. He's always snacking. He's got a cool car. He's got cool hair. I'm like, yeah, and
It's Han from Better Luck Tomorrow. He just
Han
moved
from
on.
Han from Better.
I was like,
and he's
it's
also
the same
Han.
guy.
He's also Han in Fast and Furious. He's
hilarious.
double Han. Yeah.
So if you guys ever want his origin story, when I saw Better Luck Tomorrow, I'm like, it's his origin story.
Yeah, it could actually be that. You know. Yeah.
Possible.
Same hair. He still has the coolest car out of all the kids. Yeah.
And we actually had Perry Shen on here as well.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and we talked about him.
Oh my
about
gosh.
that. Yeah, I personally love that film too. Like that one scene where they take the bat to
John Cho's head.
Yeah, John Cho's head, and then he's still not dead, so they have to like hold him down, and the camera's just like spinning around.
Yeah.
Oh, that scene just like
When
just
they're all
does
in
it
the
for me.
garage, and then the friend comes in, the friend who owns the house comes in and is like, "What do you guys just do?"
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like,
oh,
we
man.
weren't supposed to do this. I remember them all just standing there, and that moment was so uncomfortable for the audience because nobody knew what to do. It was a really, really, really good movie, and it definitely inspired me.
I personally love that film. I did not I never even heard of it until I was gonna be like, oh, Perry Shen, and I noticed, oh, he's been on this film. I was like, all right, let's check this out. My God, completely just like blew like any expectations I thought going in were just destroyed, and I was like, this is such a fantastic film.
Yeah, and you know what an interesting story is? I don't know if you remember the poster of A Better Luck Tomorrow. It was just silhouettes of the characters, and I don't know if it's true, but I did hear about that they put the silhouettes of the characters, because all the characters were prominently Asian American, and and back then they didn't know if a poster full of Asian American people would sell, and I'm like, whoa, damn.
Yeah.
I heard about that. I'm like, damn, if that's true, that's ouch, that hurts, you know. But yeah, times have definitely changed, you know, especially seeing Crazy Rich Asians being on the cover of Entertainment Weekly. I was like, it's a good time. So that relating to the story of my mom telling me, you know, expressing her worries before I moved here, and going back to that, I think, you know, she's much more optimistic now. You know, seeing all this and seeing everything that I get to work in, and sometimes I get auditions where I couldn't even have dreamed of. You know, I'm like, people are seeing me for this, or actually considering their time to see me for this. Even if I might not book it, I'm like, it's crazy that I'm getting to read for a character that like was supposed to be a black man or a white man. It, like, now the casting is much more inclusive, and it's fair game now. Yeah, so my parents are much more supportive now, and they're all experts. All of a sudden they're like, you should wear this on the red carpet, you should part your hair this way, you know, you should present yourself this way, stop slouching, and all this stuff. Whereas like it's a new set of worries now. It's adorable.
Yeah, and I feel personally it's gonna get better too, because just to add to mention, like, Randall Park is also gonna be in the Aquaman film, I believe.
Yes.
So he's gonna be part of the DC universe, and on top of that, we're gonna get the live action Mulan. That's like prominently, I believe, Chinese actors.
Yes.
So that's gonna be very like huge headway, being strong-headed by Disney. So I can't wait for like the next couple of years to see how just everyone's really coming up.
I've been reading like mixed reactions about that, especially from Asian Americans, because they grew up with, you know, a very Asian, Asian American-esque Mulan that spoke English and all that, and I heard they changed the story a lot. I'm not quite sure.
I'm hearing that
it's
too.
It's about the main villain's not what's his name? Who's that big guy in Mulan? The Hun leader.
Yeah.
It's no longer about the Huns. It's it's a witch played by Gong Li. So they changed. It's a departure from the Mulan that we've watched, and I guess a lot of people, rightfully so, are upset. Like, why did you know, Beauty and the Beast and Cinderella stay so close to the animation, and how come Mulan is not? So we'll see. I mean, it's too early to judge, obviously. Like, maybe it's gonna be awesome. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, that's interesting. I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah,
but nice to have it in the background. You know. Just
for sure.
Like,
I'm glad it's being made. Don't get me wrong. I'm really glad it's being made. Yeah.
Right on. And then just so from there, let's move it on to a non-horror film you did make, which I can't stop praising, Edge of 17. Oh my god, fantastic film. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you play like this Erwin, like a neurotic, like little teenager. And your performance is just so funny.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my god! Every time he came on, just cracked me up. I was just like, this guy, dude. Like, oh my god. Definitely check out that movie, Edge of 17. It was released in 2016, along with Haley Steinfeld. Right on. Yeah. So like now let's move into our main focus here. Truth or Dare, directed by Jeff Wadlow. Synopsis: a harmless game of truth or dare among friends turns deadly when someone or something begins to punish those who tell a lie or refuse the dare. So it stars, of course, Hayden Szeto as Brad Chang, Lucy Hale as Olivia Barron, Tyler Posey as Lucas Moreno, Violet Bean as Marquis Cameron, Sophie Alley as Penelope Amari, Landon Liberion as Carter, and the demon's name is Calyx. Yes.
Has his own IMDb.
Yeah. And so for the box office report on this one, the budget was $3.5 million, and domestically it made $18.6 million, and worldwide $21.2 million. And it's also a real quick fun fact: the second film to be released by Blumhouse on Friday the 13th last year, being Happy Death Day.
Yes.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. I thought it was really awesome. And my God, 3.5 million making 18. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, especially with Quiet Place doing unprecedentedly well.
Oh, yeah.
And also and being able to rake in those numbers for Truth or Dare, just 7 days from the release of Quiet Place, it's quite the achievement, I would say. Yeah, I was when there's two horror movies, and I've watched Quiet Place, and I'm more calm now to say that they're two very different movies for a very different demographic. Truth or Dare is definitely more fun. I would say, Quiet Place has a much more serious tone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely saw it with our workmates here, not including Steve, because he just went home. But man, I had and this is put into context. This is Thursday night. We go to the 11:50 showing, and then so after a day of work on Thursday, a whole day of work, then we're like, let's do Truth or Dare tonight. I was like, I'm down, let's go. And then I had to wake up early the next morning, but my God, that us sitting in the theater, we had a blast. It was you said, such a fun movie.
Happy.
Oh my God, so good.
Once you allow yourself to have fun, I mean, like when you read the synopsis, right? Like when you can suspend your belief that a demon possesses a game of Truth or Dare.
Right.
Once you say that to yourself, I'm like, okay. And then you know what you're getting yourself into. You give yourself permission to have fun, and it's a lot of fun.
But that actually makes it better. Like, too many horror movies are just like, oh, yeah, this happened. But this, I'm like, oh, they have an explanation. There's a thing. This is how you defeat the thing.
Yeah.
Like, it was very well thought out and not just a fluff horror movie that just skips over that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, no, this made, like, story to it.
And I also liked how the dialogue is written in a way where it's cheesy at times, but then you'll get one of the characters calling out how cheesy it is. Like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna do what you just said? That sounds fucking stupid. And like we'll call ourselves out. It's very meta when the characters the dialogue is very meta sometimes, and I think that's what helps the audience have fun.
And I think, it was cool because there's also consequences throughout the film, because you can't always pick truth. You know, there's 2 times you can pick truth, like 2 times in a row, but then you have to do a dare.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
you're affecting all your friends in the process. I might do a truth, but you might have a horrible dares, and as we saw through the film, the dares get worse and worse and worse, especially with yours. So you definitely went through a lot. And I think how was it for you portraying a gay character?
Well, I went into it just not thinking that I tried to not burden myself with how am I going to represent a gay character. I'll just go in and do my best work as an actor as I could, and I will just represent the character in a way that I would like to represent myself. Like I'll give my characters the same amount of respect as I would myself, and that way I take like a huge load off myself. And I tried to not. I think in movies, a lot of gay characters are portrayed in a way where they're over the top flamboyant. Like they have to indicate that they're gay. Not saying that these people aren't real.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I talked to Jeff about it. I'm like, can I play him just like he just happens to be?
Yeah,
like you
very
wouldn't know
matter-of-fact.
unless he talks about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to make it a thing. And I wanted to make it in a way that like this has been an ongoing thing for him, and it's just a thing that he's trying to live through, and it's not that his life stops and he has to deal with it. Like I just want to show that his life is constantly in motion, and that he just happens to have this secret, I hope it read.
Oh yeah, no, it felt super. It
good.
felt
Okay,
very
good.
natural. It felt very realistic, like a regular group of friends. Like the only main indicator when they're like, "Oh yeah, hey, go over there," and you go, but that felt like friends telling each other something. Like it didn't feel like
like his friends
wonky or
did.
anything.
Yeah, and his friends never made it a thing either.
Yeah.
And it showed a lot of acceptance, and I hope kids that watch this would just see that it's okay.
It's okay.
And the whole thing with his dad, the whole time, like you think that he thought it was a huge problem.
Right.
And he thought it was in his head that he was poisoning himself, that it was not okay, and you realize later on that it was okay the whole time.
Yeah, and I think that's a very important.
I think that was a
story
good
to tell.
message.
Yeah, especially in a horror film, we don't see a whole lot of LGBTQ stories to being told. Maybe like Buffy, off the top of my head. maybe Black Swan, but
Yeah.
I think you did a phenomenal job
Thank
portraying
you.
the character.
Thank you very much.
I mean, also with that too, I like that your character's father is a cop.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
so not just we have Asian American representation,
Yeah.
but like the dad's a very like masculine role, a
Yeah.
masculine job.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
not
yeah.
like some
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
grocery store clerk or something.
Tom
like
Choi
that.
is a very attractive man. I'm not gonna, he plays my dad. I'm like, when he put on that uniform, like, I'm so proud that you're playing my dad. I'm like, I like this. I like this on
You
screen.
guys look like brothers.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, all right, Tom. All right. I can see. Yeah, you're my dad. That's cool. Yeah, you're a very good representation. He's tall and broad. I'm like, yeah, Tom, get it. I mean, he's breaking stereotypes too. You know, I think it's great. Yeah.
And it was cool because I think the cast was overall very diverse, at least in my perspective.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
Oh, totally.
absolutely. With Sophia and Tyler.
Tyler.
You know,
Yep.
I think. I think and going back to how movies were like when I was growing up. When you watch Scream and when it's a pretty people dying movie, usually they're just a
Bunch of white
but
people.
white people with different color hair, and it's that's just what it was. And growing up, even though it wasn't Scream was not a life-changing movie, it is one of the most commercially successful movies and the widest openings. Like the American horror film is so iconic around the world. It's known to look like it's super big budget, and there is a formula, and a lot of people see it. Is the point. And even though it's not a movie that talks about important issues like social dynamics or diversity, which it happens to represent, and all that, I think it's very healthy because you're commercializing normalcy, essentially, and to have such a diverse cast, I think it really helps. And I remember growing up watching Scream and everything, and I would have never dreamt to be an actor watching those movies. Because I just felt like, oh, well, they don't look like me, so and then I wasn't mad at it. I'll just be like, I'll just know that it's not my place. And representation really, really, really matters because it was until I saw, Tom Cruise. When I watched Tom Cruise, I'm like, oh, that's a cool profession. That's cool, but I'll probably never do it. But when I saw Better Luck Tomorrow, I'm like, oh, there's a place for people like me. And so I hope kids now growing up, watching movie, it's a fun popcorn movie like Truth or Dare that would see it and be like, there's somebody that looks like me.
Yeah.
And he gets to be a hero. That's awesome. And you won't know what that thought sparks in their life, and hopefully it'll inspire them to perhaps pursue the arts and do it earlier and not be afraid because, look, I have evidence, that this happened, that I can do it. So I think it's very special to me, even though it's a movie meant for fun. I think the representation in there was a great pro that it had.
Wow, that was a lot.
We got deep.
My brain just goes.
No, it's great, yeah,
This is awesome. This is what we want.
That group of friends felt so like real, average, normal. Of like, yeah, totally. That's a bunch of random college friends doing the average college thing. Let's go to Mexico. Let's hang out.
And kudos to Jason Blum and Jeff Wallow, because before we even started shooting, we went on a bonding trip to Rosarito.
Oh,
So you guys actually
fun.
went to Mexico?
Yeah, so everything in the opening
With the phones and
the
everything?
phones.
phones,
That's
yay!
the first time we were hanging out with each other. So we
I
were
love
filming
that
on our
bit.
phones.
That was great.
So you guys were, because it felt so natural. I was like, this
Yeah.
has to be
Yeah,
like real.
That was
Okay.
actually in Rosarito.
Oh,
And so we
Love
actually had
Rosarito.
a bonding trip up there, and
That's great.
And a lot of times, when you force a bunch of people to hang out, like, you guys should bond. You guys should. It's like when us guys, or like when the girlfriends tell all the boyfriends to hang out together, or when all the boyfriends tell all the girlfriends to hang out with each other. Oh, that's kind of dangerous. You don't know if they're gonna get along.
Right.
It's just because you're sharing the same space doesn't mean you're gonna like each other. And it's just like high school. You don't pick the people to be friends with. You just happen to be with these people. You're stuck with them. But thankfully, every single person on this cast, along with our director Jeff Wallow, like we just had such a great chemistry with each other, and everybody's so freaking funny in their own way, and I'm so glad that I got to meet these people. And most of the time when I do a movie or a TV show, it's like summer camp. You see these good people. Sometimes you don't even get their number. You're workmates, and you work and you say hi and you say bye. And but with these people, it's the closest I've ever gotten to a group of cast members, and we have a group chat that we're constantly on.
Oh.
Truth or Dare
well,
group
like,
chat.
yeah, well, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I actually named it Truth or Dare. I started the group chat and I named it Truth or Dare. And I think Lucy was the one who said, I'm like, it's just creepy when Truth or Dare pops up on my phone. So let's just start a new one. She started a new one and added us all back. It's unnamed now. But yeah, we'd send selfies of each other, like taking pictures with the Truth or Dare poster. It's really cute. It's when we're extremely proud of this project. And yeah, we spent barely 30 days on it, but working with Blumhouse, it's such high speed. It's like full sprint for almost a month, so it felt much longer than that. It was a lot of fun though. Yeah.
So when you said you had you kind of like, luckily you guys all got together.
Yeah.
But on your trip or at any time filming this, I gotta ask, did you guys play Truth or Dare?
We did.
What's some crazy stuff that happened?
We didn't. Nothing crazy. Okay, I'll tell you what.
What's
We had
crazy?
a lot. We drank a lot first.
Ayo, of course.
That's what you gotta do.
When you're with a bunch of people,
Give it.
you drink that. You start drinking like early in the day because we were like you saw it was during the
Yeah.
day. We were with the cell phones and everything. And the first thing we did when we got there was let's have some drinks. And so we were. By the time we got to the hot tub at night, like we were all just like, let's play Truth or Dare. I don't even remember what happened. I think I vaguely remember we dared Sophia to dance on the table. I think so. And then when your attention span when you're tipsy is not quite there. So you're playing, and then all of a sudden you get caught up in conversation, or you're like staring off, And I think it was not. We had a lot of fun, but like not with playing Truth or Dare. I think we were sick of it at that point. Like, we're filming a movie called Truth or Dare. Let's just not. Yeah. But we had a lot of fun in Rosarito.
That's great. That's good to hear that you guys had such great chemistry off screen, because you could tell, like, at least when I first saw the film, I was like, oh, these characters seem very real, and I feel like it'd be awesome to know in real life that they got along. And so
For sure.
It's cool. Did you guys have like a favorite scene to shoot in particular? I love the scene with Penelope, how she was on the roof. That scene was awesome.
That was a whole week. We shot that scene for a whole week. It was a lot of work, and especially for Sophia being on the roof.
Yeah.
Oh my
With
gosh.
The vodka? Was that vodka? Was it
I think it's
Water.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I'm just kidding. No. But she had a harness and everything. It was very safe. But man, she had to do so much. And me, Violet, and Lucy for that scene. That flimsy mattress that we had to carry.
Yeah.
Right.
Whoa, we were shredded. Because it's flimsy, right? It's constantly moving. So it felt like we were walking around. We're not walking around. Like, remember those medicine balls that you sit on?
Yeah.
It felt like the whole time it's just like you're struggling to just like with your core. But it was a great workout. We're just like tense the whole time.
Flex.
Just swole
Yeah,
after.
and then we'll like have to throw it over the fence, take it off the fence. It was a lot of sprinting, and then Lucy had to flip the barbecue furniture, like with her arms to clear the way for us, and she had to do that scene so many times. So her biceps were just like flipping, just like jacked, And I don't know if you know this, Lucy Hale is very, very fit. It's just like I told her to flex her bicep one time. I'm like, holy crap! That's like. That's like Bruce Lee muscle. It's just she's just pure muscle, and it's pretty damn impressive. But that was one of the most the most physically demanding scenes, and the scene with my dad, the climax of my character.
Yeah.
That scene was very good. Not that it was difficult to shoot, but I was very scared holding a gun in front of real police officers. That knew I was filming a movie, obviously, but I was afraid of a police officer not knowing that I was filming a movie and seeing the other. Like in my head, it just went to a very dark place. I'm like, what if another LAPD officer that didn't get the memo drove by and saw a bunch of police officers watching me hold a gun to Tom Choi, who's dressed as a cop, and it looks like I'm doing something very bad. And what if they didn't know and they actually shoot me? So in that scene, I actually felt real fear, because I'm like, okay, we gotta get the shot, because I don't feel safe holding this gun.
Use it. You gotta use
yeah,
that energy.
we were I forgot we're in Koreatown, so like there's a lot of LAPD around. So I'm like, okay, I don't feel safe, and it helped me for the scene. But a happy memory of that scene is that going to our two lead actors, Tyler Posey and Lucy Hale. It's so refreshing to see two very well-established actors behave the way they do on set. You would never know that, you know, they don't behave like who you know that they are. You know, they're super established and they've been doing it for so long. And in this industry, you expect a certain level of, you know, diva behavior. There's none of that from these two, and extremely supportive. And a lot of, you know, lead actors that I've worked with in the past that are very well established, sometimes they have a stand-in to act with me, to warm me up before acting with me. I've seen that happen, and I've seen you know, the lead actor go back to their own trailer to eat and not eat with the rest of the cast because they're the lead actor. And I've seen this kind of behavior, and you have to expect it.
Yeah.
And with Lucy and Tyler, we hung out the whole time, and they showed up. They were in my scenes even when they were not in it. They watched the monitor. They were there to support me. I remember Tyler coming up to me after the scene with Tom and just like telling me what great work I'm doing. I think that's awesome. Like you could have went home.
Yeah.
You could have went home, and I wouldn't have been mad. I'm like, I don't know if I would stay if it wasn't my scene. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would go do something else. But they stuck by the monitor and they watched, and I felt the support while I was working, and that helped me a lot. So like huge kudos to them.
That's great. You can tell
Yeah.
they're humbled, and I think
Yeah.
in this crazy Hollywood life, we need to just remember to support each other.
Yeah.
You know, Hollywood, you know,
Yes.
the industry is so crazy, as you know.
Yes.
So-
And especially how young they've started too. You know, for them to develop that kind of personality is great to see, because you hear a lot of stories with young Hollywood and, you know, growing up with a lot of drama and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're very, very mature and humble and great.
It's great.
Yeah, I just want to backtrack again a bit to that scene with the character that plays your father.
Yes.
I gotta say that I jumped up and I gasped out loud in the theater because I did not expect your character to do that.
Which scene?
Well, where you go and grab his gun.
Oh, shit. Yeah, okay.
I thought you were
Yeah.
gonna just take the dive. Like I thought you were just gonna.
Yeah.
No, I was like, and then once he pulled, I was like, no way. I was like,
Yeah, for sure.
I
For sure.
completely like miscalculated like the morality of your character.
Yeah, well, I think the hug, he was still considering if he should do what he was about to do, or
Yeah.
should he just you know take the bullet, you know, or like die however he wanted to die. He wanted to save his dad, but in the end, I felt like he wanted to save. I think it was just his humanity kicking in. He doesn't want to die, you know. So he's like, no, I'm going to save us both. You know, I'm going to try to save us both. Yeah.
Your scene when you got the dare, that actually made me jump when the face is there again. That was good.
Yeah, that was a very
really
scary
good.
part.
Like great
And-
tension
In the
leading
hospital,
up.
right?
Yeah.
The hospital, the
Yeah.
vending machine.
That was a good scene.
Yeah. And also, I gotta say, your character did. I enjoyed him the most because I felt like he was probably the most cool-headed one. Where like you'd be able to like, well, I can't discount it because I'm not sure if it's actually fake or not, but I also am not believing it. You know, it's like that middle ground where you're able to weigh both sides, like how your character was, and that personally, that's how I am a lot. Where like, well, I can't say it's not like aliens don't exist because personally I haven't seen them, but I can't say either that they do exist because I haven't seen them. So it's like, you know, it's like, you know, it's like that kind of like,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
So it's like being wise enough to know it's not true. Anyways, but yeah, I thought it was really fantastic, and
Thank you.
I related to to your character the most because of
Thank
that.
you.
While everyone's just going off and like kind of like more reactory to like what's going on.
Yeah.
But as we're wrapping up here, I want to ask you like before you start plugging some other things, future projects that you got going on. I would just like to ask. So for you, what does this film mean to you? Like,
What does it mean to me? I look at it in a way, I'm like, oh, this is fun. This is no way, you know, like
Oscar nominated.
Yeah, it's not Oscar nominated. It's not Edge of 17, right? It's not. It's hard to top Edge of 17. Like when that was my first breakout movie, you know, and having such critical praise and everything. And this is coming to a fun movie. But going back to the issue of diversity that we just talked about. I'm just happy that there was an Asian American character that had such a great arc in a highly commercialized movie. I think that's great. I think that's another step, you know, in the right direction, and I'm proud to be part of that. Yeah, so it means a lot to me, and in other ways that how hard we all worked for it, how physically demanding it was, and the friends that I made out of this, and this was our labor of love, and I hope other people have fun as well, and so it means, yeah, it means a lot to me in that way too.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, and yeah, so as we wrap up, we want to go ahead and share any future projects coming up.
Yes, I have a TV show coming out called Lodge 49 on AMC, executive produced by Paul Giamatti. So that's coming out in August. I can't say much about it besides what's on the internet already. But the character that I play, I'm extremely proud of. Probably the most proud I've been. The writing is so good, and as an actor, it's a dream because you don't have to act. You just say it, and the dialogue does the acting for you. It's the dialogue is that good. So I've always, as an actor, it's a dream, and I just can't wait for everybody to see it. I really want to tell you more, but there's not much I can actually say.
And that'll be on AMC.
It'll be on AMC in
Awesome, that's
August.
cool.
Yeah.
August. I was about to say, ooh,
Yeah.
can't wait for
as,
that.
as a soft release with, I think, along with Better Call Saul.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Fantastic show. Yeah.
Nothing official yet, but we do know that the month is August, and I've seen some scenes from it recently from doing ADR, and it looks beautiful.
Cool.
So this, can you say it's like an hour-long drama?
Hour-long drama.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. I'm pretty sure we might be covering here on AfterBuzz for our
I would love
after
to come back.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Honestly, no, I'm not just saying this. Like, this is probably one of the best podcasts I've been on.
Cool.
All right, we're done.
No, honestly, because
Drop the mic.
I do so many like small segments for TV and everything, and they're super high profile. But I feel like it's so we don't get to talk.
Right.
It's just like rapid fire, and a lot of times it's you guys ask really good questions. Is what I'm trying to say, and a lot of times like in the mainstream media they ask you these fluffy questions like, if you get to play truth or dare with so and so, what, you know, I'm like,
Yeah, I didn't ask that question.
yeah.
I didn't ask that question.
There are some that out there I'm like, I don't know how to answer this without rolling my eyes. But you know, we're talking about some good stuff, and
Not gonna lie, I
Yeah.
legit wrote if you were to play truth or dare with anyone in history.
But you did not
I
ask
didn't ask
it.
it.
okay, let me talk about that for a second. The reason I find that hard to answer is because if you want to play truth or dare with a bunch of people, I wouldn't
Right.
play like you wouldn't go out on a
like-
date and be like,
Yo, truth or dare.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Megan Fox, truth or dare? She'd be like, "What are you doing right now?" It's awkward to play with two people.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll play it with a bunch of people, like a bunch of friends that I know, and that's
Okay.
Like the
that's
Breakfast Club.
TV show ensemble cast. There we go. If
to
you had
play truth or dare with.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
There we go. If you have to
That's
pick
a good question.
That was a good question.
That's a good question. If
Thank you, Sarah.
specificity is everything.
any TV show, past, present, doesn't
So
matter.
good.
Wow. Okay, to play truth or dare with.
How can you even
The
answer
Jersey
that?
Shore cast. Because I was thinking friends. I'm like, oh, you guys are too nice.
They'd go wild.
I want a bunch of wild people. I think I was asked on TV recently who I would play with, and just for fun, I was like Marilyn Manson. Because I'm like, yeah, he would be a freak. He's funny. He'll do crazy shit. You know, I can dare him to do anything, and he'll do it. So it can't be. It has to be with a group of specific people. I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, the Jersey Shore cast.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, they would be
That's
a bunch of animals. I'm like, I would be thoroughly entertained.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a great answer too. Kevin, oh, you're just thinking about that makes me want to laugh.
Oh my gosh, a lot of fights breaking out.
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah. Any more things coming out?
Yes, I have a movie that should be hitting the festival circuit quite soon, the indie circuit, called Summer Night, directed and produced by Joseph Cross. It has Victoria Justice, Eller Coltrane from Boyhood, Callum McAuliffe, Ella Hunt, Melina Vittler, Elena Kampouris from Before I Fall, and Justin Chatwin. It's a great movie about a bunch of musicians in Chico, California, falling in and out of love, in the same vein as Dazed and Confused. It's like a day in the life of these musicians that live there, and I saw it without color correction, without all the audio, and it was beautiful. It still made me feel things, so I can't wait to see it when it's when you guys see it, when it's all crisp and all
Polished.
polished, all put together. It's amazing, and I got to learn to play the bass guitar.
Ooh, nice.
And as an actor, I'm like, it's like actor or rock star, you know, like. But I got to play a rock star, and I'm like, yes, going back to that Tom Cruise thing. Where I'm like, I get to be all these people. I got to be a musician, and that's something that I've always wanted to do. And in an actor's career, a lot of times it's a roll of dice what you get to play. You know, it's just like who you happen to play. And I got to play a musician, and that was a lot of fun.
Right
Awesome.
on.
Yeah.
All right, is that all? Because I believe I do know one more.
What is
Is
it?
the What We Do in the Shadows?
Oh, What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah, I shot
Yes.
the pilot for that. I don't know how much I'm allowed to tell about that, but are you guys familiar with the documentary, the movie?
The Taika Waititi.
Yeah, Taika Waititi. I can talk about what it was like working with him.
Okay, sure.
Amazing.
Amazing. It was like working with a bunch of, and working with Jermaine Clement as well, who wrote it. Like, it was a dream. I'm a big fan of the Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah.
And working with these guys, it just felt like we were all kids. We got to play. We got all this Play-Doh, and we're making things together. And we got to go off script so many times. So much improvisation, and the whole time, like the whole set. I remember the boom guy. It was so funny that the boom operator had to like put his face in his armpit. And he was like shaking because he was trying not to laugh because we were making up shit on the spot, so nobody was ever bored.
Right.
I remember like there was so much improvisation. And it was so funny that you feel the tension on set. Everybody's like trying to hold the fart. Everyone's trying not to screw up audio. We're all just like.
Oh my god.
It's so funny, and I can't wait for people to see it. It is really well done.
So I was a little confused, just to clarify this. So is it a TV movie or is it a TV show?
It's a pilot for a TV show. So it's being pitched to Fox for
nice.
FX, and if it gets picked up, then we'll get a series order.
Right on.
But
We're
right
gonna
now
look out for that one.
Thank you. Yeah. So right now it's just a pilot.
Right on.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for plugging all that. And now on to our little closing out.
Thank you so much for coming,
Yes,
Hayden.
thank you so
much.
Loved
Thank you
it.
very
This is
much.
such an awesome interview. I'm Oliver Jennings, guys. Follow me on all social media platforms at Ollie Dreamer, and check me out on AfterBuzz TV on Sundays for the RuPaul's Drag Race after show.
Right on.
Right.
Carrie. Oh,
I was gonna say, well, give your plug where people can find you on.
Oh, that's
social.
right.
Oh yes. It's just my name, Hayden Szeto, on all the handles: Twitter,
good ones.
Instagram,
Sweet.
Instagram. I think that's all, and Facebook.
follow him.
At Hayden Szeto.
There you go.
My name's Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, for the. I just gotta say thank you again. My God, what a pleasure, and thank you for all the compliments as well. Again, everyone, my name is Anthony Becerra, and you can find me everywhere at Tony B Tony _. Again, it's Tony B, the letter B, Tony _. And that's been our interview with Hayden. Again, thank you so much.
Thank
I can't
you.
wait for you to come back.
you.
Can't wait to look for I believe Lodge 49 when it comes out on AMC in August or so.
Yep.
And with that, everybody, thank you all for tuning in.
Thanks,
and
guys.
We'll
Thank
see you
you.
next week.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.